Hello everyone, Vettros here. I am bringing you a little guide today on my first real build in Wolcen. I figured I would bring this one out sooner later than never. This is going to be my first primary build in the game. It's the first one I really went through the online campaign with and went through the entire game with in general. This is going to follow a summoner's guide. I know recently they mentioned summoner was going to be getting buffed here in the upcoming future. I don't personally think it's needed. I think they are actually in a really good place as it stands, but if they choose they want to make a buff to a summoner, they are welcome to do so. This guide will go over the primary functions and key things needed to be able to get this to function. Just as a heads up for everyone, this is a minor gear build, meaning you do not need primary pieces of gear to make this build work. It will work on just about anything you have. So first and foremost, you are a tank. You are meant to be tanky. You are meant to be tanking all the damage for everything. Your pets are going to be doing all of your damage. You have the Immortal Maw here from Liver Mortis. You also have the Plagueling here from Feeding Swarm. You will also have Parasite. Parasite will be getting you another pet of your choosing. I always go with one of the really big hulking behemoths. And then lastly, your Plague Burst, which is another ability we'll be using here, will also be generating you more pets. These are permanent pets. They do not have a life bar. Essentially, they just stay forever. So first and foremost inside of here, we do have quite a few points spent into our toughness tree, ferocity, and into wisdom. This is kind of a 3 balance build. You want to just go with whatever kind of feels right at that point in time. All of your damage will be scaled into toxic. I know mine doesn't look like very much right now. That's my resistances. Toxic is your primary form of damage, so it does anywhere between 115 to 1,000, or 1153. This is a lot. It's a lot. It actually does a lot when you start going through the game, and the better gear I get, the more it will go up as well. Gear wise, I mentioned before, this was a soft gear check. You are going to want to have a staff. It's one of the biggest things inside of here. You are a wisdom or willpower user, so you will be using a staff inside of this one. Feast of Cankers is probably the only real thing in this gear wise that I would say is a 100% must. It's additional toxic damage. It's force shield, which you're going to need with part of the build. Minus health of pets. Your pets are going to be super healthy as it is, and a shit ton of damage for them. Everything else on here is kind of at your leisure. Don't really need anything. There is the belt that does give the plus mark of impunity, I want to call it. I don't remember if that's exactly a name on it, but that is also a really good one. Skill tree wise, you are going to be focusing on the 3rd tier purple tree right here. This is going to be your summoner's tree, sacrifice of flesh. You take part of your health away, this is why you build toughness, and your force shield to make it to where your pets take 25% less damage, and you're going to be getting all 3 of these nodes behind it. More damage reduction to your pets, nearly making them invincible. Undertaker, it's going to be additional poison stacks and poison damage for you. This entire build revolves around poison. More poison globes that'll fall down. Whenever you're going to receive a poison stack, when they're close to you, you get essentially a radius poison. For those of you who have seen my Diablo builds, this is very similar to how I like to play the Inarius build. It plays very similar. I went ahead and went with block chance on weapons just to make myself even tankier. So I'm not getting additional block chance from having a staff on, applying weakness on block. Over here, health regeneration when I drop below 30%, a lot of cooldown reduction, a lot of willpower reduction, and then over here I'm going for more toxic damage, and then going for, on this side, then going for, leave it's up here, going for the green node that gives additional damage to things closer to you. Which I cannot seem to find at the moment. I will have to try and run around and find that again inside of here and get that one pointed out, so I do apologize. Here it is. It's projectile damage. Either way, there was one that I was looking into. May not actually be a good one inside there, but this is what we're going with currently. But the build is actually pretty generic. The skills you'll be using, like I mentioned before, Feeding Swarm, you got zombies. We're specifically going with the toxic based zombies, increased health for summons, which you can actually pump that one out for damage if you want to. Either one works just fine. And then Putrescine. This takes down your zombie to where you can only have one zombie at a time, but that zombie is now huge and does a crap ton of damage. Also gets additional health. We're going to be going with Livor Mortis. Livor Mortis is getting a mix of different things. More health, more threat. Portion of damage done to me is transmitted to my summon, which again, that's why we go with as much damage mitigation as possible into him. Increases damage for summon, increases health, increases damage. You have plenty of ones you can swap out inside of here. Anomaly is one of the biggest ones inside of here. Anomaly is going to be the primary function. So Anomaly is a vortex ability. When you drop this on the ground, it will then pulse. That pulse will bring things towards the center of it. We are using the repeat pulses, so this pulses multiple times and just holds enemies in place. Increase crit, increase skill duration, increase radius, increase damage overall. Another really very, very important one here, Plague Bearer. Plague Burst, so I call it the Plague Bearer build. This is going to be increases area of effect size. This is a radial buff. Everything within this green circle is now generating toxic damage. As we mentioned before, toxic damage is going to be radiating off of your character, so the more you run around things with this up, the more damage it will do. The nice thing about this is additional ailment damage. Poison clouds will be dropped upon an enemy dying within the cloud circle. So if they die inside the circle, they drop a poison cloud. That poison cloud does additional damage. If one of your pets dies, they will also leave a poison cloud for you. Lastly, chance to summon monster allies. This will summon random allies to you, most of them being like rats and scorpions. Does a huge amount for you. And then last but not least, we have Parasite, which is one of the entire reasons I built this entire build in the first place, because it's such a cool spell. Increased leeching power, increased ailment status, increased ailment damage, possessed monster becomes stronger, increased health globes, increased crit, and average damage additional. This is literally just a hold it down button. If you have an enemy that you can hit this with, it will hold it down on them and you let it rock. It will heal you in the process. It makes you a tank, even just regenerate your health as you kill things, and then it will resummon the monster you kill as a summon for you. There are monsters that this cannot be applied to. A lot of them actually. Personally, the one I go for the most is the Behemoth, or the hulking Behemoth. It looks like this guy, but like twice his size. For the rest of this video, it's no longer going to be a voice. I'm just going to be running through a basic map inside of here and showing you guys exactly what it looks like when played out. So thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate it. If you don't want to watch this one, feel free to skip on. I hope you have a great day.
Welcome to the Purple Phoenix. to the next one.
Thank you for watching.